Hi, I'm Tye Trujillo, and you're listening to Tell Craig Your Story podcast.
Black China, baby.
Yeah, we know we don't play around. We know the podcaster in Shanghai. There's only one guy on my side, and his name is Craig. Check him out. Skinny OG, boy. If you got a story to tell, call Craig. The government been checking your mail. Just call Craig. Your ex-girlfriend just fell down a well. Call Craig. They say they about to put you in jail. Just call Craig. Call Craig. Call Craig. Hey, you go and tell Craig. Call Craig. Call Craig. Hey, you go and tell Craig. Call Craig. Call Craig. Hey, you go and tell Craig. The only podcast that's ringing the bell. Call Craig. Yeah, boy, you know who to find. Just go tell him your story, it'll be fine. You know, have a good time. Yeah, this your boy Skinny OG. Skinny OG. Love, big up to my boys. Tell Craig your story. Check him out now.
Hello everyone, Craig here, and welcome to a brand new season of Tell Craig Your Story podcast. 2026 has a lot of exciting guests coming up. There's some opportunities to travel overseas to do some interviews this year. And we're also going to do some interviews in the studio here in Shanghai. So let's kick it off with a bang. So our first guest for 2026 is Tye Trujillo. Tye is a multidisciplinary artist, vocalist, and designer, best known as the frontwoman of the heavy alternative band BLVD of EYES. She recently released her new single, Lies, showcasing her powerful vocals and emotionally driven songwriting. Known for her striking stage presence and bold visual style, Tye blends music, art, fashion into a deeply personal creative vision. Now, Tye is married to Robert Trujillo, bassist of Metallica. Their son, Tye Trujillo, is an accomplished bassist and a member of Suicidal Tendencies, while their daughter, Lullah, has joined Tye on stage playing drums for BLVD of EYES. Together, creatively and music run strongly through the Trujillo family. But before we go, please go to our website. We're at Podbean. We also have a link tree there which tells you where Tell Craig Your Story podcast is streaming. We are on all the major streaming services. We also have a YouTube account at Tell Craig Your Story, so make sure you're subscribing and liking to get all the latest updates. For our Chinese listeners, we have TikTok, Bilibili, and Red Note. All right, so here we go. This is my chat with Tye Trujillo on Tell Craig Your Story podcast.
Tell Craig your story.
Hi, Tye. How you doing tonight for you?
Yeah, I'm good. What time is it for you? It's
It
the
is
morning, right?
Yeah, just gone past 11 a.m. How about you today?
Very good. Like it's 7 p.m. here, just past the, and I had a very busy day. I had lots of meetings today and also get some painting time. So excited about that. And yeah, I was doing a lot of work on a new EP that I'm releasing. So there was a lot of, meetings about that and plans for marketing, videos, and all of that.
Let's talk about that. You've released 2 singles so far.
Yes.
Tell us about the latest single, Lies.
Yeah, I mean this EP is going to be just the 4 songs, so it's like 2 new ones that are coming out. Lies that just came out. When did it come out? I forgot. Like last year, end of last year.
Yes.
We actually shot a music video for that December 22nd, and it's gonna be finished and releasing on February 26th. I wrote all these songs kind of during COVID time, so a few years ago.
Right.
I wrote a bunch of songs during that time, and I picked 4 to release for this EP. Lies and all the other songs can be taken, they can be taken in different layers. Like, you can do the superficial layers and it's the lies, but deeper within was more the lies that we tell ourselves and the self-limitations that we impose upon ourselves. And it's the idea of like liberating ourselves from all those lies, you know, whether it's limiting beliefs, whether it's the conditioning that we got through, you know, from childhood or all throughout life, the social aspect of, you know, when people don't believe in you or in something that you do, or, you know, these are just lies and we can all transform. That's like a brief summary of what the song means, but you know, it's more extensive, but yeah.
And writing during COVID, was that obviously different for you? Everybody was shut down. So how was that for you? Was the writing process different in that way?
Yeah, well, it was different in the sense where I was completely on my own writing, which I like to start on my own anyways. And then I would go, like before COVID, I would go to an engineer or somebody to help me because I was always reluctant to learn to like do music on the computer. I could record stuff and all this, but then I would like give it to somebody else. And COVID, I had no choice but learn to do it all on my own.
Right.
So I actually, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, I must say, because it just forced me to go beyond that like mind, like the threshold in my own mind where I was like, I can't do this. And then I did it. And now, you know, now there's nothing easier for me to open a session on my computer and start recording and editing and all of that. You know, I learned about mixing. I learned so much. So it opened the door to be like more independent in a way and kind of move forward, because I didn't want to be stagnant.
Yes.
And I still wanted to get those songs done. And that's what COVID forced me to do. It's just like I couldn't have any contact with anybody. So I'm like, let's just start working and be creative. The inspiring thing too is we were, you know, as a family of musicians, we were all together and everybody was playing for their own little, you know, projects and all that. But it was just so inspiring to like be creative as a family. And so there was a lot of good stuff that happened during that time. Very different, but, you know, sometimes going out of your comfort zone makes you grow so much. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's great advice. And with the COVID too, I love how you turn it into a positive as well. I mean, people are saying that it was really bad, but, you know, I was the same. I was like, okay, when COVID finishes, I want to do this, and this. And I want to make sure that when I get a chance to get out, then I'm going to do those things. So I'm glad that you also turned that into a positive.
Yeah, I try to turn things into positives. Like, you know, it's that's the way to kind of move forward and try not to be dragged down. It's not easy every day, but yeah, it's a good thing.
And talking about dragging down, I mean, you're doing so many different things, different projects, fashion, art. Where do you fit that time in one day?
I mean, one thing that I must say is all these things, and I'm not saying it's always super joyful. Every aspect has like a business side to it, has like a not so much fun side to everything, but everything brings me joy. So I think it gives me energy, but at the same time, I also have to be super organized in some way.
Yes.
Even though it's like all kind of creative endeavors and creativity can be also a little messy and not as organized, but I have to fit everything in the schedule.
Yes.
But like, for example, this whole week has been so busy and the business side of things and marketing and all of that took over on the creative. So I was happy to fit in some painting here and there through the days, but I've been wanting to sing on new material that I wrote and I haven't had the time, you know? So I'm like, okay, it's going to happen next week and I'm going to schedule it in. And I have, you know, I'm old school. Like I have, you know, this kind of, like that's my agenda and I write in what I have to do and So I keep things organized, but still flexible.
Yes.
You know, see if something, if some opportunity happens or something happens, I'm still flexible. But yeah, there's specific deadlines and specific dates for some shows or releases or things like that. So I try to work backwards and try to schedule things as needed. But it's not always easy. I you know, but yeah.
And do you have a team that's working with you, or are you just doing it by yourself?
I'm very much by myself.
Yes.
I do have an agent for my fashion line,
Right.
so that helps. For example, I'm gonna do a little runway show for, and it's a small collection. I always do capsule collection and so I do have a team with that, and that's really recent.
Yes.
Like just a few months ago, and it's helped so much because then I can focus on most of the creative side of things, than just do it all. But yeah, I'm very much a one-woman show, and I'm starting to feel like, okay, I would benefit from having some kind of help, whether it's an assistant or somebody for a lot of the things that take time that can
Yes.
be delegated. But for now, it's all me.
That's why I talked about the schedule, because yeah, you seem to be a very busy girl. What I wanted to talk about was, and I'm chomping at the bit to talk about this, is the tour that you did in Australia in November. You were there for just a bit over a month there, and I did the same thing. I went back and, you know, I saw your husband play, I saw your son play, and you did a tour of the East Coast as well. So tell me some of the highlights about Australia. That was the first time you've been there, right?
Yeah, I cannot even pinpoint one highlight. It was just amazing altogether. I loved Australia. We had so much fun touring. I was the only chick with like 15 dudes on that tour, and it was amazing. It was amazing. We had so much fun. The Australian crowd were awesome. We loved playing. I mean, and I love just even, you know, I would get up early in the morning and kind of walk around and explore, especially like when we get to, you know, all on the coast there, and I was like, let's try to find a beach like early morning, and I would walk, and I actually heard, was it Coffs or Port Macquarie, where there was a shark attack or something, or shark sighting. Like it was at that beach I was at, like, and I was swimming in it with Mark, the bass player. We were just chilling because he goes for runs early morning, and I was just walking, and I texted him. I say, hey, are you around? Because I'm at that beach. And he's like, oh, I found this other beach. And we went swimming, and it was just the two of us. And then 2 days later, there was a shark attack at that same beach. And I was like, oh, dude, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I really loved the people there. I really enjoyed the whole tour. I can't wait to go back, you know, just discovering. I mean, for me, and Mark has lived in Australia, so he knows the country, but me and Kevin, we were like, wow, you know, kind of exploring and discovering and meeting a bunch of cool people, and I got so many gifts too from fans. It was amazing, like so giving. It was beautiful.
Absolutely. And I saw in Sydney you played it on a cruise ship or like a boat.
Yes, that
Tell
was
us
so
about that.
beautiful too. I mean, you're just playing on a cruise ship, on a boat, and passing, and it was a beautiful day, and passing in front of the opera house,
Yes.
under the bridge, and all of that, and it was such a beautiful day. It has its challenges because, you know, you're like on a boat. It's so funny because we were close to 7 hours, I think, on that boat.
Yeah.
And then we played a club show that night in Sydney at Duke, and I remember. I mean, it was a long day. It was a lot of work, but it was really a lot of fun, you know, playing 2 shows in one day, and one of them being on the boat. But I remember when going to bed that night, I felt like I was still on the boat, you know, everything was moving. I was like, oh my God,
Yes.
oh my God.
I saw in one of your videos you said when you were doing sound check, the boat was sort of like
Yes.
bobbing
Actually,
up and down.
Kevin is like, he's like, oh, it's like surfing and playing. And I'm like, yeah, totally. It's just like, yeah, during sound check, it was really moving. And I was like, oh, it's going to be interesting performing. And then it was okay while I mean, it's still moving, but not as much as the sound check. Because we were even getting worried with the drums, you know, because like I was like, we don't want cymbals to fall, and you know.
And how is your Aussie slang? Also saw another video there of you getting questions on your Aussie slang. How is that good? Has it improved or got worse?
No, it was good. I learned a lot of Aussie slang while I was there, learning that they create the like I was, you know, it was not Chloe anymore. I was Chloe. You know, things like that, and like I think I talked about in one of the videos that they shot, I was talking about the yellow cars, Spotto, like in the bus, you know, like those games. Like I'm like, what are we doing? But yeah, it was, yeah. I'm French, you know, I'm from Paris, and sometimes I'm so used to the American English accent.
Right.
So when I go, like, for example, when I go to Britain, sometimes it gets me like a tiny bit of adjustment. I'm like, okay, now I understand what they're saying. For Australia, it was the same. In the beginning, I was like, I can't understand anything, speak slowly. But then by the end, I was like, okay, I get it.
That's awesome. And I saw a bus breakdown as well. So you're living the rock and roll lifestyle as well. You're on tour. That's rock and roll right there. So
Yeah, totally. You know, we had a bunch of like, you know, experiences like this, where also one day our drummer was like, where is he? Like, you know, bus call was like at 8 a.m. and we're all ready and he was missing, and I'm like, what happened? And then it was 2 hours late and he came running towards the bus. I'm like, where have you been? Like, you know, like things like that, or, you know, but yeah, it's all part of the journey. And yeah.
And a proud mother being in Australia at the time. Your husband's there, your son's there, and you're playing with your daughter as well. A proud mama?
Totally. I mean, my son was, I mean, I went to most of the shows. I didn't go to Perth. I still have to visit Perth.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
one place I didn't get to see. And Adelaide, I didn't get to see either. I you know, we're like Melbourne, Sydney. So I went to all the shows and yeah, watching Tye play every night. It was amazing. He came to our Sydney show, but at the Duke.
Oh, yes.
He decided to stay because, you know, he's a surfer too. So he decided to, after his tour was done, he stayed on the Gold Coast and surfed, and then he stayed in Sydney for a bit with a friend of his that he had met, a guy that lives there.
Right.
And so he went to our show, and then my husband, after his tour, he decided to stay on the Gold Coast as well, with some surfer friends, and so he went to see us perform on the Gold Coast at Moe's, and so did Mike Muir and his wife.
Nice.
Nisha, they went, so that was fun. Like, you know, I got to see them play, they got to see me play. It was great.
Does it feel different when you're playing live on stage and you have your husband and your son and all close friends with you in the crowd? Or is it just another gig?
You know, it's funny because it changed. It used to be, I used to get more nervous, especially when my husband was in the crowd, but that was like years ago.
Right.
I would be like, oh my God, you know, I was like, oh, I hope I don't mess up. I hope I'm, you know, this and that. And now it's like so many times that, you know, he's seen me play, and I always want to do my best no matter who's in the crowd. Yes. Sometimes you don't even know who's in. I mean, I knew they were going to be there, but sometimes you never know until after the show. I'm all for always doing my best no matter what. There's people that pay tickets to come see us play, so I do my best no matter what. You know, it's you know, they deserve the best show ever, and I try to make it better and better each time. So yeah.
And with the release of this new EP, are there plans for a tour?
For me,
Yeah.
I would love to, because these are songs that I wrote by myself. I would have to kind of find musicians and
right.
play, but I would love to. That's definitely, a plan of mine. I think I have other songs that I'm working on right now.
Right.
And I would love to release like a full album, and I'm gonna re-release my older material too that I took off streaming platforms, and I'm gonna start anew. I'm remixing some of the stuff so that way I have enough material that's released, and would love to play. I'd love to play Australia again with my own material. That would be so awesome.
Yes.
But also, I would love to play in Paris again, because that's my hometown. We get to play with Boulevard of Eyes in Paris. Was it 2 years ago now?
Fantastic.
And it was an awesome show, and it was fun because it's like all my friends in Paris, you know, all the ones that could come to the show were there, and it's a nice way to catch up with everybody. So yeah.
There you go. And then with me living in Shanghai, with some of the bands, the international bands, if they're heading to Australia, then they'll either go through Asia, then Australia, or vice versa. They'll go to Australia, then go back through Asia. Are there any plans to do something here in Asia?
I would love to. I don't know. I know we had a chat about Japan because there's been some offers. Shanghai, I for now, I mean, I'd love it. I'd love it. Especially Shanghai is a cool city. I've been there.
Very cool.
I've been to Shanghai. I've been to Beijing. Beijing is a little more like city, like
yes.
You know, and it was cold when I was there.
Right.
Shanghai I feel like it's a little more international, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's like there's so much going on in Shanghai, and I would love to. I love to travel. I love to play in different places and meet new people. But so far there hasn't been offer. We receive offers for Europe, specifically France. Probably I'm French, so yeah. In Morocco.
So Chloe, is it for your solo?
No, that's
work,
like I'm talking Boulevard
of
of Eyes.
Eyes. Right. Okay.
For my solo stuff, because I haven't played live shows, I think once I start playing, if I start playing locally, then I think probably stuff will come up.
Right. And sorry, I tried to find this information about the Australian tour with your daughter. Did she not play on the Australian tour?
Oh yeah, no, she didn't play. She okay, my daughter, she's super busy.
Yeah.
She's working here part-time as a barista in the local coffee shop. At the time of Australia, she was also finishing. She's an amazing artist as well, like visual artist. And she had to finish illustrating a children's book for this woman that wrote a children's book. So so we had, that's why I was saying we lost our drummer on Sydney the day after Sydney show.
Right.
And this guy is from Australia. His name is Shane. He was amazing, and Mark knew him. I think they played together on some project years ago, and Shane learned all our material. Actually, Lullah, my daughter, did videos for him, like to, you know, I was filming her playing our songs and send it to him so he can, because there's things that we do differently live than on the recording. So we send it over, and then we had one rehearsal with Shane the night before the first Melbourne show, and our first day of the tour. And so one rehearsal and it went really well, and Shane was amazing. And
That's a professional right there.
yeah, no, and he was great.
And you're speaking about surfing before. You've actually designed some boards, yeah, art design, is it? So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, and actually, funny you ask, because I'm just gonna do a couple shows. I've been asked to do a couple shows, exhibits with new surfboard art. So I have to paint right now about 9 surfboards to
Right.
fill in these shows. Actually, I have a couple that were in the sun all day because I refurbished them
Right.
and turn them into pieces of art. So I had a couple in the sun today with like getting the wax melting so I can clean them up and start painting on them. I love painting on surfboards. I did it the first time years ago when Billabong Europe commissioned me to paint on surfboards, and I had never painted on a board before, so I was like, cool.
Wow.
And they sent me surfboards to paint, and they had them on display at one of their stores, and I love the process so much. I'm like, I'm gonna paint more boards. And I was like, Robert, give me some boards that you don't use anymore, right? And so that's what he does. Or I get sometimes gifted boards, by people that don't use them, and then I paint them, and yeah.
Are they available on your website to buy?
Yeah, so yes, they are. Just a note on my website, I'm getting my website completely updated and redone.
Okay.
I saw actually the first draft of it this week, and we're getting close to being finished. So everything will be like clear, and because my website, yeah, first needed to be updated so bad, but because I create so much that I was adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff, so I feel like navigation was not super, easy. So yeah, so I did. So we're redoing it, and I'll be, and you'll see the surfboards there, available to buy, and all kinds of artwork and all the
Fantastic.
new music, everything.
Put me down for one surfboard.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's the one thing that I absolutely love going back to Australia, because Shanghai doesn't have the surfing. Only you can go into a shopping mall and pretend you're surfing on waves there. So
Yeah.
first thing I do when I go back home is get the board out
As you
and
go out, yeah.
get out and have a swim.
Where's home for you? Where's the when you say home, like in Australia? Are you from?
So I'm born in Newcastle. So
Okay.
you would have went past it between it's Sydney
Yeah,
and
we
Port Macquarie.
drove past it. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. And I was going to ask, but yeah, no Newcastle show?
yeah.
No Newcastle show.
I didn't. We had like a tour manager, and
Right.
he organized all these shows. We could do a Newcastle show next time.
All right,
I
come
hope
on.
so.
Yeah. No, looking forward to that. And when you went back to the US, you went to Chicago and New York, and
I
you
went
also
to Miami and
Oh, Miami,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and Chicago and New York, yeah. So I flew home for one day, basically to unpack, do laundry, get groceries for the kids, repack, and fly the next day to Miami. I had a show for, it was the Art Basel going on, and I was presenting my one of the collections, the resort collection, resort wear, and all that. And so I had a show there, and I was invited to different events, and then went to the art show and all that. So I was like, I think 2 days in Miami, then flew home for 2 days, and then flew to New York with a whole different kind of suitcase because it was so freezing. You go into, like, it was Australia, of course, like Melbourne and Sydney were,
Little cold.
kind of coldish weather, but as soon as we got on the coast, it started getting really hot and warm. And then back home, it's kind of warm. Then Miami was also hot and warm. Back home, again, warm. And then New York, all of a sudden you're freezing.
Yes.
And then from there, I flew to Chicago, and then it's like snow and ice and minus 20 degrees Celsius. It was like, oh my God. Like all the layers and beanies and scarves and gloves and all kinds of gear.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought out your third deck of Magic Deck designs. Art as
I
well.
launched that in Chicago along with like a design that I did for a charity, the Dark Matter Coffee. I did the packaging for a small run. I did all that in Chicago. New York was again for my fashion line, and Chicago was the Magic Deck and some other of my designs, but like more art stuff, and then the coffee packaging as well.
Absolutely. Your tattoos. I'm enthralled. What tattoos have you designed yourself?
All of them.
All of them.
Well, I draw my tattoos and then I get them. Yeah.
How many do you have at the moment?
I don't know because they get connected to one another. Right. So I don't know how many.
What was the last one that you did then?
The last one actually is this hand.
Okay.
And that was done in Chicago. So I did a show at the gallery, the same gallery, Sideshow Gallery, the same gallery I did the show recently. It was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I arched with them and a pop-up event. And so I had the pop-up event during the day. Then I had 2 hours break for dinner. And then was the art opening right after. And during the 2 hours break for dinner, instead of having dinner, I went next door to the tattoo shop. And basically, Omar, who's the tattoo artist, is the husband of one of the owners of the gallery. So their businesses side by side. And so I was like, let's go. And I kind of like it because it's like a souvenir of a good day, you know, a good time, and you know, so that's the latest I did. Yeah.
Nice. Your artwork in the back. Can you tell me a little bit about this and what was your inspiration?
I mean, these are older pieces. But not that old. All of my art, I want to say, you know, like when I create is almost like a little bit of a spiritual process. I don't know what I'm going to paint until I'm like facing the canvas. And then I have kind of visions. I just paint what I see in my head. And so that's what it is. And sometimes I don't really know the meaning of any painting until it's finished. And there's a lot of symbols in there. And then if you want to analyze, like, okay, why the eye inside a heart, that can have many meanings. Like for me, it's like one can see really best through their heart. Like this is this is what gives you the truth. But then, there's the red roses that can be like a symbol for passion, for love, for, it's so, but I leave it to, because you can interpret this with, with your life experience or your culture. So I kind of like to leave it up to the viewer's interpretation versus me trying to like feed like, okay, I can give you example of what it can mean, but maybe to me it means something else. Like for me, it was more like, okay, there's the black background and these like light rays of light, and for me it was like, oh, the heart, seeing through the heart is like guiding you in the darkness, like really illuminating the darkness, and the passion helps guide you as well, like what your passion. So and the lightning bolt were like, you know, it's just like the power, the extra power that it gives you. But then somebody else might find another meaning. But that's just an example, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the symbols too, because they have so much depth. And, you know, so that's how I like to work. And seeing my artwork, I hope, is actually through finding the meaning through symbols and all this, is a reminder for the person that owns the artwork or has it in their room, that it's just like a powerful tool to just, you know,
Absolutely.
be positive.
And it's a bit like music as well. When you write a song, it's open to your interpretation. It's like, okay, well, if that's what it means to you, then yeah.
Exactly.
All right, some cliche questions I just finish off with right at the end. What's the best piece of advice you've been given?
I don't know, because I feel that the best piece of advices I've been given were through reading books, not necessarily from people I know. And one of the best one is what I was just talking about, is like really follow your heart, because I've been told so many times to do this or that, or stop doing this, or be like this, be like that, and I tried to kind of please people for a long time, but then it wasn't necessarily making me happy. And so I think when we create or show up with joy, there's something magical about it, and everything kind of falls into place. So that's I've been reading about this a lot in different books. Not a specific one, but yeah.
And if you were to go back and visit a young Chloe in France when you were just starting off, or what advice or what encouragement would you give her?
To keep going and just to believe in myself more, I think, because there was so many hard moments, and I had some experience that were really tough, really hard. And a couple times I felt like giving up everything, so I would just be like, keep going.
There you go. So social medias, Chloe, where can we find you for our Australian and our international listeners?
I'm most active on Instagram, and that's my name. My handle is my name, Chloe Trujillo, CHLOE TRUJILLO. And then, of course, I also have a YouTube channel that's also Chloe Trujillo, where I upload all my music videos, so you can check me out there. And I will have, like I said, a brand new website, chloetrujillo.com. And then on there, I'll have a sign up for a newsletter. So if you want to catch a show or be aware of any sales I have, and when I say show, it could be an art show, gig, tour, whatever is going on, new music, new art, surfboards, all of that. There'll be like a sign-in for a newsletter, and I'm planning to be a lot better at sending newsletter in 2026.
Come on.
Because it's been so busy, but I would like, because I think it's a great way to keep in touch with people. So yes.
Absolutely. And also wanted to mention too that here in China, they have QQ Music. That's where I listen to all your latest EPs and all the Chloe Trujillo music as well.
Yeah, I'm on most streaming platforms, I think, internationally too, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you again for your time. I hope you can come back to Australia and in Asia as well. I'd really like to see you here. I'm sure there's lots of fans here as well. And all the best for 2026 with your fashion and your arts and your music. You got so much going on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me too.
Hi, I'm Tony Fair, founder of Victorian Grooming Company. Is your beard feeling dry or the skin underneath itchy? Maybe you'd rather soften and tame your beard instead. Our classic collection of beard oils, balms, and soaps will leave your beard looking, feeling, and smelling amazing. And if you prefer shaving, our pre-shave oils and shave soaps will give you a smooth and razor burn-free shave. Handmade in Edmonton with natural ingredients, visit VictorianGrooming.com.